WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome back. The Art Lewis Show for Monday, the 24th of January. Delighted to be with you today. Here's what's going to be happening this hour. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to be talking to Steve Shippy. He's a local fella, but with national recognition as a paranormal investigator. And he's got a new docudrama out that we will talk about that has to do with the movie Scream. That will be coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll chat with him for about 15 minutes this morning. And then we'll have open phones for the remainder of the hour. At 10 o'clock, we will be chatting with State Senator Jim Stamas, see what's happening in Lansing. And again, depending on time, we'll have some open phones after that. At 11 o'clock, the Saginaw Symphony Orchestra has a premiere concert coming up this Saturday. We'll talk to Fuad Fakari, the conductor of the orchestra. That is what ahead. That is what ahead. That's nice. That is what is ahead this morning here on WSGW. Our numbers to jot down when we have our open phones, 989-752-6111. That's good from just about anywhere because companies don't charge you long distance and roaming for the most part anymore. But there is an 800 number inside the state of Michigan. That's 866-790-WSGW. And that's how you get in touch with us. I don't know about you, but if you're any kind of a sports fan, this weekend was utopia in terms of football. Some of the most exciting games. Finally, games lived up to their hype. You know, we often say that about the Super Bowl. It's hype, 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 which, by the way, will begin pretty soon. And sometimes, a lot of times, the games don't live up to the hype. Yesterday, Saturday, boy, the games lived up to everything anybody could ever ask for. And that's particularly true of the final game last night between Kansas City. Who'd they play? San Francisco, I think. I don't know. Anyway, it was particularly the end of the game, the most exciting 2 minutes in football that I think I've ever seen. It was amazing. So with that said, as I mentioned, we're going to have open phones later on. But to get us started this morning, we say good morning to a guy who we had in studio quite a long time ago when he was kind of getting started in the paranormal world. He is from just outside Saginaw, and we say good morning to Steve Shippy. Steve, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
Freezing.
Where are you?
Saginaw.
Oh, you're home. Oh, I thought you'd be on the road someplace. Oh, wow. Yes, freezing is a good word for it. So I think before we get into this new docudrama you have, let's talk about the paranormal world and what got you involved in it from an interest standpoint and then from a career standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I grew up in a home that was haunted. We experienced a gamut of different activity, shadowy figures, doors slamming, voices, disembodied footsteps, very young at that point. And so, you know, from that moving forward, I always had, of course, obviously an interest in this field, looking for the answers. What could it be? How could it be? And, you know, that led on a quest to want to document this stuff and be able to tell other people's stories and help them. And that's what ultimately led to my career with paranormal investigation.
And we should point out, Steve, that you're a true believer of this. It's not you're not in this just to be the producer and make movies. You truly believe it, don't you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%. All right, so let's talk about this new docudrama you have that has to do with the movie Scream, which probably was one of the all-time leading horror films.
Yeah, it certainly is one of the biggest. In fact, it's known for kind of reviving the genre, actually.
So what brought about this new docudrama?
Well, so the case centers around Danny Rolling, a.k.a. the Gainesville Ripper. That Scream was actually based on a true story. And Danny Rolling had murdered 3 people in his hometown of Shreveport, Louisiana, went on the run, chose Gainesville for reasons unknown, Gainesville, Florida, hiding in the woods out there. And at night, he would go stalk his victims. And for the longest time, these murders were being discovered, but there was no suspect. There was no eyewitnesses, no vehicle, no description. So that being said, it led that college community to just be in this absolute state of fear and paranoia. Who's the killer? Could it be a fellow student? Could it be a professor? And when you kind of look at that parallel, the screenplay for Scream had come to light.
It's interesting because, when we look at some of these movies and we look at something like Scream, it's nice fiction, it's good stage presentation and all that stuff. What you're saying is Scream was based on a true story.
Yes, absolutely. And the Gainesville Ripper is what it centers around. And Danny Rolling had claimed that he was under some type of demonic possession of some sort. That's what drove him to do that. And not just after he was apprehended, but this is what he was saying the entire time. The reason we know this is he left behind hundreds of papers, even audio recordings that he would make, almost these diaries, if you will, where he would just talk to himself and rant and rave at his campsite. And he really believed that something would come for him at night, take him over, and he was no longer in control.
So you start out to produce this docudrama, if you will. Do you visit Gainesville? You visit the area where all this took place?
Yes, certainly. We start off going to Gainesville. In the documentary Scream the True Story, we, of course, tell the story of the Gainesville Ripper for those who, may not be aware of who he is and what he had. We put boots on the ground. We get to Gainesville. We go to the campsite where he was hiding. I work with a psychic medium, Cindy Kaza. She's my partner on this investigation. We go there to try to see if we can make any contact, see what Cindy picks up on. Interview the prosecuting attorney, even Danny Rolling's fiance, get a lot of intel there, and then ultimately the investigation led us to his hometown and even his childhood home of Shreveport, Louisiana.
Did you or were you able to confirm the stories?
What we were able to confirm is that there definitely was some type of energy, some type of spirit, for lack of a better word, present at the campsite. The medium picked up on that. My gear picked up on that. But where things really went wild, for lack of a better term, is when we got to investigate his childhood home. And that was just pure and utter chaos.
How do you mean chaos?
Well, I mean, so when we went to his childhood home, the current owner gave us a tour of the house and told us about the relentless physical attacks that she and her family were experiencing, objects being thrown around. She's telling us all of these things. And I asked her, when did this start? She says 2006, November. Well, Danny was executed in October of 2006. So right away, that chilling parallel, could his spirit have returned home? Now, okay, so we have the information from her, us to investigate and see what we experience ourselves. Now, we didn't see or experience items being thrown around, but we did capture a shadow figure on camera. All of our gear was going off relentlessly. The medium I was working with was sensing all sorts of beings in the house, something dark and ominous, banging sounds on the roof, actually the ceiling, I should say. Just a gamut of different things.
Why do they still live there is my question.
That's exactly what I asked her. And she gave me that, one could get. And she simply said, we purchased this house about as cheap as one could. We were lucky to be able to get into a home, and probably because of its grisly past. And she said, we just simply can't afford to leave. That was what she had said.
So let me ask a couple of questions. Let's start with your gear. You mentioned your gear. What type of gear is this, and what does it pick up? What's it tuned to?
Sure. Well, I use a lot of different pieces. For instance, a motion sensor, which just simply will pick up any motion in an area. If something were to walk through a certain space where it's calibrated to look for that, it'll alert that there's motion. Devices such as a digital recorder, we ask questions while we're recording, then we play it back right there in the field to see if there is a disembodied voice that answers the question or speaks in any way. Then there's ITC communication, like a spirit box or a geoport or other related objects, and how that essentially works is, and I guess you being on the radio, spirits we have found in the field do have the ability to kind of manipulate these devices, radios, and other things. So it continues to sweep through channels, and we find that can allow the spirit to actually communicate through the speaker. It's very interesting. And, you can't take everything as sacrosanct that comes through. Can you tell me your name? And we hear, boldface Danny. What room are you in? Living room. If it's answering intelligently and your other devices are registering that there is a spike in the magnetic field, a temperature fluctuation, or any movement, when all those things kind of culminate together, you can pretty much take that to the bank that something anomalous is happening there.
So this house, which was his childhood home, and he's come back to haunt now, is there a way of clearing that house? Is there a way of chasing those spirits away?
There is. There's several different ways. It would depend on one's belief system to some degree. And in this case, we felt that was absolutely necessary, especially after hearing that the family was being attacked physically 2 to 3 times a week. I mean, that's just completely a horrific situation. So in this case, we did bring in a Catholic demonologist to perform a minor rite of exorcism on the house.
And did it work?
To this point, yes. In fact, we actually play a voicemail at the end of the documentary from the current homeowner saying that everything has been great and peaceful since turn. But as of now, yes, it does seem to have worked.
All right. So this documentary, where can it be seen and when?
Sure. It's Scream, the True Story, and it's available for streaming right now on Discovery Plus.
What are the shows you've been involved with?
Well, there's also another shock doc that Cindy and I had partnered up on, another notorious, I guess, of that caliber, Ed Gein, The Real Psycho. That's also on Discovery Plus, as well as my own series, Haunting in the Heartland, also on Discovery Plus. And I guess for the Saginaw and the Tri-City audience, of course, I'm sure they're probably well aware of the Haunted Saginaw film series, 10 documentaries shot right here in our area.
Mm-hmm. And this the one that's your original show, that's the one we talked about the last time when you were in the studio, wasn't it? I think
yes,
that was the beginning, wasn't it, of the career?
I believe the last time I was there speaking to you was probably about Haunting on Brockway Street.
That might have been.
Yeah,
But I know we talked about your TV show coming up and all of that stuff.
Yeah, that was prior. Yeah, that was just before all that happened.
So is this your sole career? This is what you do?
Yes, yeah, this is what
you have really turned it into a career, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, through so many different investigations and so many different projects, it's pretty much consumed all available time.
Now, is your company or you available if someone, has what they believe to be a haunting in their house and they want it discovered and they want it rid? Can they call you? Do you have a service like that?
Yeah, essentially, people always contact me on social media, Saginaw.com. And for anyone that is listening out there, if you are experiencing something and you're looking to bring in a team, regardless if it's me, whoever it is, make sure you do your diligence and get somebody reputable. And, I just always want to say this. Nobody should ever ask you for anything. Nobody should ever charge for such a thing. And if anybody ever brings that up, that's an immediate red flag to just, cut off contact and talk to somebody. I would always urge people to reach out to somebody reputable and try to seek out what's going on if they're, truly in need of help.
Well, listen, Steve, it's always interesting to chat with you. It does take, for the average individual, it takes a certain amount of open-mindedness, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, definitely. But, as time goes on, people they're more open about it. For the longest, interesting, a poll came out recently, I think maybe 6 weeks ago, and that number slowly goes up every year. And in this poll of the adult Americans that were polled for this, it's at about 52.5% believe that there are ghosts, that this is real. It is very real. It's been talked about since the beginning of time in different texts and different ways. It's out there.
Well, Steve, listen, we appreciate your time this morning, and you're welcome anytime. Something going on, just let us know. We'll be happy to have you.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me back.
Take care.
Okay, you too.
Steve Shippy, and again, his docudrama, or shock doc, as they say, is called Scream, the True Story, streaming on Discovery Plus. We will take a break, then come back. We'll have open lines for the remainder of the hour. Let me talk to you about my friends at the Thalen Auto Group. I've told you for years about their lineup of new cars from Audi, Volkswagen, Subaru, Mazda, Honda, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. But remember, every time they sell one of those, they usually take in a pre-owned vehicle in trade. So they inspect it, bring it up to their standards, and they scour the market for additional cars meeting their exacting standards. And that's what they put on their pre-owned lot, or lots, I should say. Because remember, all those dealers are side by side on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Hundreds of vehicles to choose from, more selection than any other location in the Tri-Cities, because you have all these dealers stacked together. You can shop pre-owned vehicles from their marques, Audi, Volkswagen, Subaru, Mazda, Honda, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. But you don't have to spend day after day after day going to dealer. You can just go to Thalen and take a look at hundreds of cars all at once, or go online to thinkthalen.com. thinkthalen.com. That family's been serving your automotive needs for about 45 years.
It's totally normal to be constipated with belly pain, straining, and bloating again and again.
No way. You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives to help relieve belly pain and let you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. Individual results may vary. Do not give to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor today. You may be able to save on Linzess and make fewer trips to the pharmacy. As little as $30 for 90 days. Visit linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's more uncertainty today as investors prepare for the Federal Reserve's meeting tomorrow and track tensions involving Ukraine's border. Halliburton shares are getting a boost from its better-than-expected quarter and plans to increase the dividend it pays to shareholders. The oil services company made a profit in the quarter. It lost money in the period a year ago. Kohl's is getting a boost from what could be 2 or more offers for the company. Reuters says Sycamore Partners has approached Kohl's about a bid that would top the offer from Acacia Research. Reuters sources say a buyer would likely sell off holdings. Rising COVID infections are again impacting Toyota's production in Japan. The automaker will cut production again this month. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Puerto Rico is the new go-to destination for investment opportunities, and Impeller is the new online tool that connects investors with innovative projects seeking capital on the island. Impeller takes the guesswork out of investing in Puerto Rico, surfacing the insights you need to make informed decisions and empower your investment portfolio. Visit investpr.org/impeller and set up your account today to see what the island has to offer. Impeller, your hub for investment opportunities in Puerto Rico. Powered by Invest Puerto Rico.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out test with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
This is Matt Crowder live at the Shell station on 41st Street, reporting on the free gas app called Get Upside that's letting people all over the country earn cash back on every gallon of gas they buy. Excuse me, miss. Have you heard of the Get Upside gas app?
Of course. People are earning as much as $300 a year with the Get Upside app. It's so easy. Open the app to see nearby gas stations offering money back, pick the one you want, and get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Get Upside gas app and earn up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder, Radio News Network.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to earn up to 25 cents a gallon. Use promo code TODAY for a 50 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 75 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Get up to 75 cents a gallon cash back on your next fill-up when you download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TODAY. Promo code TODAY.
News coverage.
1 year since I took office. It's been a year of challenges.
News.
We're going to vote. Not about making voting easier. It's about making cheating easier.
News coverage.
Russia has ratcheted up its threats.
Minor incursion.
That is an invasion.
They're testing us.
News.
New York Attorney General says is significant committed by the Trump Organization.
Inflation problem.
Meatloaf has died.
Comedian Louis Anderson has passed.
News coverage on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and again, we'll have open phones now for the remainder of the hour. Whatever you'd like to chat about, by all means, we would love to talk to you. There's a number of things going on, pretty critical, that could lead to some very serious things. One of them is Russia and the Ukraine. And remember that Biden and his administration officials have said no troops in the Ukrainian situation, that if Putin were to invade, originally Biden said, well, there could be minor incursions, which was not a smart thing to say, but there would be no troops. Well, now we learn Biden is weighing deploying thousands of troops to Eastern Europe and the Baltics. And it would be certainly a major change in strategy for the Biden administration. And I'm not sure how much of it is bravado. In other words, well, we'll show our strength, and we mean business and all of that, and hopefully Biden will back away. I mean, first of all, from where I sit, not Biden back away, Putin will back away. From where I sit, Putin responds better to sanctions than he does to military threats. Wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. But the fact that we're going to send troops, or are thinking of sending troops, you have to wonder. Now, listen, we've sent ammunition, we've sent airplanes, we've sent, lethal weapons and all of that. And that's fine, because NATO is involved, and even though technically the Ukraine is not a NATO nation, they are being considered for it, which is, by the way, one of the sparks that set Putin off about this. He doesn't want NATO sitting on his border. But Ukraine is a democracy and it's a free country. And if they want to join NATO, they should be able to join NATO. It's going to be interesting to watch. Don't know how it's going to come out, but we'll find out. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll get to Paul in Saginaw here on WSGW. I want to tell you about my insurance agent, Tom Sureski, who I've been with for quite a number of years, and I've been with Allstate. He's an Allstate agent. I've been with them since 1974. Reason, I'm happy. They take care of me. And Tom and his staff really take care of me. They're great listeners. And in the end, they give me the advice and the plans I need to fit my situation, nobody else's. And this is exactly what they'll do for you. You can visit Tom at 6185 Tittabawassee Road in Saginaw Township or call him at 989-497-0300. We'll keep that number and repeat it again here because I want to tell you that Tom's agency is in search of 2 additional highly motivated full-time professional employees. The agency is up 26% again this year with no end in sight, creating an immediate need to increase his staff. Now, no insurance experience is required for the right candidate, but if you have insurance experience, all the better. If you're a professional, goal-oriented, self-driven individual, you're looking for a new career opportunity to work for an agency that cares for its clients and its employees, update your resume and call Tom to schedule an interview today. It's that number I gave earlier, 989-497-0300, 497-0300. You're in good hands with Allstate, even better hands with the Sureski Agency.
Your career takes flight when you join the winning teams at Soaring Eagle and Saginaw Eagles Landing. The premier gaming and entertainment destinations in Michigan are currently hiring for a wide variety of positions for all levels of experience. Visit us online at SoaringEagleCasino.com for a full list of openings and learn about all the benefits and the new $15 an hour minimum wage. Apply today at Soaring Eagle Casino Resort and Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Your historic low rates may be a great reason to refinance, but when matched with an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot, you could be saving money and paying more towards the bottom line. Call a Loan Depot loan officer and ask about our 27-year Smart Term loan or our 10-year ARM loan. Get a great rate matched with a great loan by calling 8 or visit LoanDepot.com. At Loan Depot, home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 174457. Licensed in all 50 states.
Did you know that doctors use Mucinex? That's right. Mucinex is the #1 OTC brand doctors trust for themselves and their families. When you have cough and chest congestion, you need a medicine that's effective and long-lasting. So with cold and flu season upon us, why would you use anything else? Mucinex 12-hour DM extended release bilayer tablets allow for immediate and extended release, relieving cough and chest congestion for 12 hours. Grab Mucinex and put yourself back in control. Use as directed.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talking Just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
This is the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and to our phones we go. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning to you.
Morning, Art. I got a few quick issues here. This is one time I agree with Putin that he doesn't want any NATO offensive missiles in Ukraine pointed at Russia. It's another 1962 Cuba missile crisis with America.
Really? So you think he ought to take his missiles and unpoint them at Europe?
Well, I mean,
what?
Change? Nope. But Ukraine, that's another Cuba, in my opinion. I don't, every country in the Warsaw Pact has joined NATO. And when Gorbachev agreed to let the two Germanys unite, he told Secretary of State Baker, I'll let the two Germanys unite, provided none of the countries in the Warsaw Pact join NATO. And Baker says, you got it. And that turned out to be a complete and total lie. So I agree with Putin this time.
Okay.
And but that's one issue. The other issues I want to talk about is the National Desk on TV News here reported last week that AOC is going to run for speaker after the 22 election, and Amy Klobuchar is running for president in 24, no matter what Biden does. And
okay, let's take those one at a time. First of all, most pundits believe that the Republicans will take control of the House in 2022, which means AOC has no chance to be speaker.
That's a possibility, correct.
So she has no chance to be speaker.
Not a given.
Not a given. But even if the Democrats were to hold power in the House, I doubt AOC would be speaker.
Well, we'll see. Well, we don't know right now. The other thing of the National Desk, they said that the highest areas of addiction in the country today are the areas of the country where there were formerly factories. That's the highest areas of addiction in the country today, where there used to be factories. Okay.
Okay.
And the last thing, I want to talk about is I have a buddy that lives in Southeast Michigan. He's a retiree. He drives new electric cars for two different companies for a living. So I asked him, how do you like driving them compared to a gas car? And he said he don't like the electric car because something always goes wrong with the electronic stuff inside the electric car. So,
my experience was very different. I've driven 3 electric cars now. One of them only shortly, but the other 2 I've had for days at a time, and I love them. Now, what I don't like is the battery life because it doesn't give me enough range. I want to be able to go to Detroit and back and not have to worry about a charge and all of that. But when the day comes that there are charging stations everywhere, I have to admit, they're a heck of a drive. They are a heck of a drive, and I had 0 problems. 0.
Well, the reason why you had 0 problems is they were already driven and tested before you got it.
Only one of them.
No,
actually, only one of them. The second one that I drove, they had to prep for me because it wasn't ready.
And you had no problems.
0
with
problems. Absolutely 0 problems. The only problem I had was learning how to use it all.
Well,
but
he drives for 2 different companies, and
good. All right, then. Fine. Everything has problems. Listen, you buy a gasoline car to have problems. That's why they have warranties. That's why they have recalls.
Yeah.
So what's different?
Yeah.
What's different? All right. Hey, I got to run.
Well, All right.
All right,
Okay.
Paul. Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye now. Susan, hang on. We'll get to you next here on WSGW.
Attention hunters, gun collectors, and firearm enthusiasts. The Bay City Gun and Knife Show will be held this Sunday, January 30th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Doubletree Hotel. Admission is just $6. Children 14 and under are free. Hunters from across Michigan will be on hand, buying, selling, and trading firearms, knives, ammunition, military items, sports collectibles, and much more. Need cash? Bring in your old U.S., German, or Japanese military relics, as representatives from the Michigan Traveling Military Museum will be there paying top dollar for collectible firearms, swords, and daggers. Sunday at the Doubletree will be your chance to pick up that special firearm, knife, or similar item you've always wanted. What a great day to get out of the house following the recent winter weather and enjoying looking over all that'll be on display. And it all happens this Sunday, January 30th at the Bay City Gun and Knife Show at the Doubletree Hotel in Bay City. Hours are 9 to 3. Directions, go to www.gunshowtrader.com. Don't miss it.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, you can expect access to care as soon as you need it. You can schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. You can also call our customer service team to ask for information and get the help you need. With Blue Cross, it's easy to get the care, tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
Grab your silk top hat and your the night away with the Disability Network of Mid-Michigan at Feathers and Fedoras, a Roaring 20s gala benefiting independent living programs for people with disabilities. Saturday, February 12th. Enjoy delicious food. Dance to the music by Stone Street Revival. Find Lady Luck at the casino. Hit the speakeasy for Giggle Waters. Tickets are $50 per person. RSVP at www.dnmm.org/FAF. Feathers and Fedoras. Saturday, February 12th at Horizons Conference Center in Saginaw.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with a Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
The WSGW Morning Team Show. Detroit restaurant just closed abruptly. Michael Simon's Roast Restaurant in Cadillac closed. Highly, highly rated #1 in Detroit. Did I mention, by the way, the cheapest steak was about $100?
Well, that should have
having some impact. Yeah.
That's the circle of friends apart.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not taking me there.
Dave and Pat and Shirley, we're over
Never
at
been
McDonald's.
there.
We're over at
Never
McDonald's.
been there. I've never been there either.
No.
I've never been there either.
But you know people who have been there.
Yes, that I do. The other reason is you would never spend $100 on a steak. So.
50, maybe, yeah. 100,
Does that include the sides or?
No, of course not. Of course not.
Better at least the pack come with an Iron City beer next to it.
Then maybe it's worth $100.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and we'll go back to our phone. Susan is in Bay City. Susan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
I was calling yesterday. I wonder if you or your listeners caught One American News yesterday, where they had the doctors, 17,000 doctors marching on Washington with the Let Doctors Be Doctors march. And they were marching against, they want to be able to be doctors. They want to stop being coerced and threatened and censored. They want to be able to treat their patients as they see fit with the drugs, and they said the monoclonal antibodies. It was just fascinating. I watched it. I recorded it. I have it on. It went on all day, and so I'm sure they're going to be having excerpts. They had Senator Robert Kennedy Jr. They had the Dr. Robert Malone. They had. The money is running our country, backed by our government, basically. And they had scientists. They had all the leading scientists. It was by One American News. They didn't have CNN there. They didn't have Fox there. It was just, like I said, absolutely fascinating. Then they went on to have leaders of the Jewish communities. They had like I forget all the names, but the rabbi, and they had it reminded me of Malcolm X, the speaker that they had on talking about that. And anyway, they said that the vaccine injury and deaths are not being reported, and that they didn't see any more cases. They just, like I said, it was powerful.
Okay, I have no comment on it at all. I didn't see it. I wasn't aware of it.
Oh, well, like I said, it was, and I'm sure they'll have excerpts today. And on your paranormal guy there, he was fabulous. I thought he was really good.
Yeah,
So,
Steve is interesting.
yeah,
And he's local. He's from the Saginaw area.
Well, I grew up in that kind of situation. My mother was a spiritualist.
Oh, really? No kidding.
And so there was a Camp Snowy Flake, where, I know it sounds funny, but they used to actually have spiritualists they had meetings. And they would read cards, and a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, one of these days I would try and get Steve on for maybe the hour and have phones, and you can talk to him. He's an interesting guy.
You know, all his equipment and everything, but you get people that are parasensitive, and you can walk in a room and you can feel it. You know, when they always say the hair stands up on the back of your neck. And a lot of it is what happens is when people use a Ouija board, they open the door to let the spirit in. And so evil comes from those things.
Well, I'm not going to go there because I don't know. But
I'm just saying that sometimes they wonder, how did that spirit get there? Well, that's sometimes when somebody contacts them, they open the portal, and you can't get them back. It's like putting the genie back in the bottle.
All right.
But anyway,
cool.
He was very fascinating, and I enjoyed it. But
good.
If you get a chance to see and watch or look
All right.
in One American News. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. Thanks, Susan. All right, let's, listen, paranormal. Steve Shippy I had on earlier. He's got his docudrama about Scream. And paranormal is in the same class as UFOs. You are either a believer and what word can I use to describe someone who's not sure? An agnostic. How's that? You know, agnostic in religion is somebody that, isn't sure. Or you're a disbeliever, totally. It's a matter of faith. Do you believe in the paranormal and the possibility that there is a spiritual world? Or do you not? Or are you just unsure and waiting for someone to prove it to you one way or another? Aren't UFOs the same thing? You either believe that we've been visited by creatures from another world, or you don't. Or you're in that middle class that says, well, I don't know, prove it to me. I think it's the same thing. And it is interesting talking to a guy like Steve, who's made a career out of it and truly believes it. I mean, he's not faking it. He truly believes it, because I've talked to him before. And I imagine if you could spend a day or two with him on his investigations, you would quickly learn whether or not it's real or not. It's interesting to speculate about it. Now, I've never been I'm going to separate the paranormal and the UFOs that I put together there for a minute. I have never been a true believer of the paranormal. I'm a skeptic. It doesn't mean you couldn't prove it to me, but I'm a skeptic. And I admit it right up front. I don't hide it. But UFOs, on the other hand, I say the mere fact that we are on this planet, God so choose to put us here. Could he have not chosen to put other people or other forms of life on other planets? I think that's realistic. And it's also realistic to think that they could be more advanced than we are. So I am more open to the UFOs than I am to paranormal. Just thought I'd mention that. All right, we'll take our last break this hour and come back and close out.
The Michigan Sugar Company is proud of Zender's Snowfest, January 26th through the 30th in Frankenmuth, helping to celebrate 31 years of winter fun for the whole family. Zender Snowfest has been host to one of the top snow sculpting events in North America for the past 30 years. Visitors have enjoyed larger-than-life snow sculptures and beautifully detailed ice carvings each year. In addition, Zender Snowfest will have entertainment for the entire family in the warming tent, a fireworks display, petting zoo, and children's activities. Join us in the warming tent Wednesday the 26th for all things chocolate, as we have chefs from all over the state prepare their best chocolate recipes for judges to judge and you, the audience, to taste. There's Snowfest 2022, and we'll see you Wednesday the 26th at 10 a.m. for all things chocolate. Brought to you by Michigan Sugar and WSGW.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with lots of sound effects. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home need, here are some zany sounds. Saving on home insurance is no laughing matter. Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. The money you save could change your life. It's time for you to take your insurance choice seriously. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Vino Wine Warehouse New Year Festival. You are going to get a $30 gift certificate for only $15, half off. The Vino Wine Warehouse has over 1,000 retail wine items, craft beers, a full liquor section, and a unique modern menu with some amazing appetizers. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
That does it for hour number 1 of the Art Lewis Show. Thanks for being with us. Coming up in the second hour, we're going to talk to State Senator Jim Stamas for a while, and then, time permitting, we'll have some more open phones for you. All of that is ahead this morning. That's after the news from CBS and the local report to bring you up to date on everything happening in our world. We'll talk to you right after the news.
Your Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios.
This is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. There are new signs of imminent conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The State Department has ordered the families of American diplomats to leave the country, and President Biden is considering new military deployments to the region. CBS News military consultant Jeff McCausland.
It will be somewhere between 1,000 to 5,000 additional troops, but that number over time. Focus appears to be air defense forces, engineers, artillery, and perhaps logistics.
Correspondent Holly Williams is in Kyiv.
On the other side of this frontier,
are around 100,000 Russian troops. And to the west, Russian fighter jets and missile systems are moving into place in Belarus for what Russia says are military exercises. Nina Belaya lives in the nearest village, potentially in the firing line if there's any kind of Russian incursion. She showed us her cellar where she stores food for the winter.
You can take shelter down here if the Russians invade.
There's a warning by reporter Dale Gavlak. The U.S. Embassy in the United Arab Emirates is advising Americans there to maintain a high level of security awareness following an interception of 2 ballistic missiles fired by Yemen's Houthi rebels targeting the Emirati capital, Abu Dhabi, earlier today. No casualties were reported, but it's the second attack in a week by the Iran-backed militia. Just in from Washington, the Supreme Court has agreed to hear a challenge to a case about college admissions and race. It involves lawsuits against Harvard and UNC and alleged Asian American applicants. 7 school boards in Virginia are suing to stop Governor Glenn Youngkin's executive order making masks in classrooms optional. Richmond is among the districts that want to continue a mandate. Teacher Andrea Bryant.
When it gets to a point where you're having to send central office staff to cover classes, maybe we shouldn't be in school for a little while.
Parents have been baby formula at places like Walgreens and Target. CBS's Anna Werner.
Enfamil's maker Reckitt told us they have ample supply of their formula products, but said U.S. baby formula industry-wide sales are up 18%, which is more than double birth rates. The company says in response, it's ramping up production and is currently shipping 50% more product to address issues as fast as possible.
Sarah Palin was supposed to be at court in New York City today for the start of her defamation suit against the New York Times, but the judge announced Alaska's former governor tested positive for COVID, adding she is, of course, unvaccinated. Down 572. This is CBS News.
Looking for quality candidates this new year? Look no further than Indeed. Our new video interview tool takes the hassle out of virtual hiring. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties.
We're growing fast, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite. For the new year, NetSuite has a new financing program. netsuite.com/books. Head to netsuite.com/books for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/books.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. That they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 17 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. No injuries were reported after a state police patrol vehicle was hit yesterday. Police say the trooper was assisting during a slide-off of another vehicle on I-75 near the 155-mile marker around 10:30 a.m. They lost control of their vehicle and struck the cruiser. It's unknown if the driver was issued a citation. Property owners in the city of Midland have until February 14th to pay winter taxes without penalty. Property owners who have signed up for the city's auto pay service will see the billed amount of their taxes automatically withdrawn from their chosen bank account on February 14th. After that date, a 4% penalty will be applied to the unpaid balance of property taxes. On March 1st, the city will turn delinquent real and special property taxes over to the Midland County Treasurer, who then assesses additional fees plus 1% interest for each month of delinquency thereafter. Winter tax bills can be paid by cash or check at the Midland City Treasurer's office at 333 West Ellsworth Street, Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Credit cards are not accepted for property tax payments. After-hours payments should be placed in a secure drop box located inside the main entrance of Midland City Hall. Bay City business has leveled up. After opening in February 2020 and moving into their newer site at 304 Center Avenue in August, Crazy Quarters Arcade has announced an expansion focused on their growing pinball community. The main arcade floor has more than 60 classic and modern games spanning decades of entertainment, but Joel Pastula, one of the arcade's 3 co-owners, says the 2,500 square foot Nudged Underground edition, located in the lower level of the business, will house more than 50 pinball machines in a 1920s speak and more room for the upcoming tournament season.
Our selections goes from 1958 wood rail up to some of the newest machines and everything in between. Bringing in the new machines, we have ones that you don't really see in public very often. Gilligan's Island, Wipeout. I'd have to almost go through and look at them all, but there's a lot of new titles. Come on out and see.
Co-owners Chris Exo and Jeff Palmer say while there may be a lot of machines, pinball and otherwise, more will be coming to fill the space opened up by the expansion. WSGW News Time 10:07.
At Wildfire Credit Union, our team will tell you that everything we do is for our members because it's about you.
Member who received an email that a reputable company that she works with was going to take a large amount of money out of her account. She was panicked and upset, and I walked her through what she needed to do. Told her the exact steps to do and that I would keep an eye on her account. So she followed all of my instructions to the letter. And then the company that charged her account was aware that it was a scam. And they gladly and apologetically assured her that everything would be just fine and the money would not come out of her account. So she was very grateful.
Saving members money, providing personalized service, going the extra mile. That's Wildfire Credit Union. Find out for yourself. Call, click, or come by any Wildfire banking the way it's supposed to be, where it's about you, always. Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. The Warren City Council will consider incentives for a developer to demolish the former GM Warren transmission plant and rebuild on the site. GM sold the 117-acre property in December to Missouri-based North Point Development. The Detroit Free Press reports the Warren City Council on Tuesday is scheduled to consider a brownfield local and state tax capture plan for the project. It's valued at $28.6 million over more than 20 years. North Point related to site preparation and demolition, including asbestos abatement. Mayor Jim Fouts says build 2 million square feet of new facility space that could bring hundreds of jobs. In the heart of winter, many of us can feel a bit gloomy, but experts say it can spur relapses in people who have struggled with substance abuse in the past. Psychologists have dubbed the unique sadness that overtakes some of us this time of year as a seasonal affective disorder. Here's Marcel Arbuckle from the Empowerment Zone.
So if someone close to you has recently, died, or you can't be with loved ones, or you're just feeling down because you haven't seen the sun in a while, it's important to realize that it's normal grief, and it's okay to take some time to cry, express your feelings, and you can't really force yourself to be happy just because it's a holiday season or because everybody's being positive.
Arbuckle says it's important to reach out to loved ones and mental health professionals if you're feeling low. Empowerment Zone, a Detroit nonprofit focusing on health and wellness, will host a Zoom workshop Wednesday afternoon. You can register through their Facebook page. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology for on the forecast for today. Over skies, temperatures warming to the mid-20s. We have south-southwest winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusting around 20. We'll see 2 to 4 inches of accumulation. We have snow wrapping up tonight. Cloud cover, 5 degrees for your low. Winds breezy out of the west-northwest. Tuesday, we have a slight chance for snow showers in the afternoon. Partly sunny skies, highs warm to the upper teens. Tuesday night, chance for snow showers, cloud cover, and a low near -2. A meteorologist, Mandy Faluber, with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 18 degrees.
The only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. And our program is brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty, 989-295-7713. Again, Linda Shepard, Pinnacle Realty, for all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, 989-295-7713. Inside the Point at M46 and M47, where you'll also find Cafe 476 with their delicious soups and foods and beverages. There you go. We are going to spend time this hour talking to State Senator Jim Stamas, and we say good morning to the Senator.
Good morning, Art. How are you today?
Hey, we're doing well. Hope you are too. Jim, before we get into some of the things happening in Lansing, I want to talk a little bit about the dam restructuring in our area. Have we found all the money now to rebuild the dams?
We are working on that. I have introduced a bill, and it has with an entire water package. Within that water package of bills, it covers lead line replacement, works on PFAS, it actually works on upgrading many of our wastewater treatment plants. There are $250 million that would go towards rebuilding the dams. And so hopefully we can get that through the House and the governor signs it sooner than later, is my hope. So do we have all the money? No, at the moment, but are we working on it? Yes. The other challenge is if we're not able to do this, there is a loan, I think, through the U.S. Department of Agriculture, but quite frankly, the challenge with that is the amount of the payment that would have to be levied on the lake is substantial. Which is what I'm trying to make sure that we avoid. And so we're in a positive manner. I've had good discussions with both the House and the governor's office, but until, in Lansing, until it's done, signed, you can't, count on anything until we're there. So, but we've made very, very good progress at this point.
So what's your sense of the outcome? You optimistic?
I really believe that we are on the right path to actually get it accomplished. It's just a matter of the timing. And so, I think that we're, to the conversations that I've had, I think we're in a positive place to move forward.
All right, so let's stay positive. How do the state's finances look these days?
The state's finances look very, very strong. And it's, when I first got to Lansing in 2009, we were at the bottom of the Great Recession. I frankly would have called it almost a depression for Michigan. But, this year, at the moment, we have $1 billion in the general fund, both in general fund and school aid fund that are available to us. And then if you look out 2 years, we would be at about $3.4 billion in 21-22 and $4 billion in 22-23. So at the moment, things look very, very good. Revenue is projected to continue up, yet it will slow down in the rate that it's been increasing. So overall, the state is in a positive place. That's the revenues from the state and where we currently sit with our funds available. If you add into that the dollars that we've received from the federal government, whether it's the ARPA dollars or the SFRF dollars or the IIJA dollars, we are still looking at about $5.4 billion of ARPA that still has pretty general use that we're able to use for helping Michigan recover. We're in the middle of substantial discussions on a health supplemental. Have something like that done. The House sent it to us. I'm hoping that we can come to a final agreement with the House and the administration as early as possibly this week, and then get that sent to the governor. And then my hope would be to start working on the water or the overall infrastructure supplemental would be my next one.
Yeah, Jim, let me ask, because of what you just said about the federal dollars, if we take the federal dollars out of the picture totally, are you saying Michigan is still in good financial shape?
Yeah, I'm saying Michigan without the federal dollars has a $4 billion availability.
Wow.
Above what, and so yes, we are sitting very, very in a positive way overall without the federal dollars.
That's pretty sizable tax revenue. Where do the increases come from?
A lot of it is in sales tax, but some part of it is also with the real estate market as strong as it has been is another part of it, and so both and use tax again is part of it, and so sort of overall, but sales tax has been leading the way. The other one, quite honestly, which is is interesting, is income tax. And it can actually be somewhat related to, I want to say, almost 200 people in the state of Michigan who, with whatever type of investment they made, became substantially wealthier than they were on their income tax, which is not a bad thing. But
good for them, good for us, huh?
Exactly. So.
All right, so let's talk about something else that's been in the news. When the two plants were going to go to Tennessee for battery production from Ford, there was a lot of talk in Michigan about how we can become more competitive. Where are we in that process of being able to compete with those southern states?
We have made substantial progress in that in two significant ways. First is, I think, in the first time that I can recall, Consumers Power and DTE have gone to the Public Service Commission and requested a high energy rate that we've been trying to do, for example, like semiconductor for. With this, we were finally able to get a high use. So I think if you're megawatts? I always mix those things up. The larger of the two,
megawatts,
you are eligible for a discount, which I think gets us in the ballpark of where we're at least competitive on our energy costs. In addition to that, we have changed what Michigan Strategic Fund has been doing in a substantial way with how the dollars will go out if we do have large projects. And what I mean by that is typically through the Michigan Strategic Fund, it was always somewhat quiet and it was behind. And, we sort of just got the announcements from whichever governor it might have been, with it originally being started with Governor Engler, then Granholm, Snyder. They all have used the Michigan Strategic Fund, which is an asset. It's just a matter of it's not as public as what the legislature would like if we're investing money. And so just before we went to break in December and into that session, we actually did sign a new bill that puts into law a specific amount that was basically budgeted for $1 billion. And from that $1 billion into one of two programs, One would be a site development site or fund, similar to what they had done down south with creating this huge space that's ready to go with its energy, with its water, with it having roads and or a clearing of it so that it was site-ready development. And then in the second program would be similar to what they did with offering Ford $400 million to come to there. There is a program that we can put dollars into that program specific to closing offer. And so the large difference, though, is this all has to come through the legislature, through a committee, through a public process, and it's not in the back room somewhere. And so I think that's a huge positive for Michigan, especially when we're looking at the dollars. And so I think we've made substantial progress. I think that we're likely to see, the rumors or news media is reporting we could see the benefit of this within this week with General Motors. So that would be exciting.
All right, hang on. We'll take a break, come back. We're talking to State Senator Jim Stamas. More ahead here on the Art Lewis Show.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Bring new life to your home with Lithonia Lighting. The Lithonia Lighting 6-inch new construction recessed housing features airtight construction and has a galvanized steel push-in connectors for easy wiring. The expandable bar hangers allow for off-center mounting in wood joists or T-bar ceilings. The Lithonia Lighting new construction recessed housing is only $6.99 during Menards More Bang for Your Buck sale. Price is good now through February 6th.
Save big money at Menards.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with lots of sound effects. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here are some zany sounds. Saving on home insurance is no laughing matter. Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need. The money you save could change your life. It's time for you to take your... Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened lower. Investors are bracing for another Fed meeting, which starts tomorrow. The situation in Ukraine is weighing on stocks and cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin slumped below $35,000. A Peloton activist investor wants the company to fire its chief executive and explore a sale. Kohl's is confirming it has received bids for the company. Its board course of action. Hedge fund Trian has purchased a stake in Unilever. Halliburton's quarter was stronger than forecast. And Boeing is getting more involved in developing self-flying air taxis. Boeing is investing another $450 million in Wisp, an aircraft company that's a joint venture with Google co-founder Larry Page. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Biden's massive spending plan has expanded America's money supply and taken money out of your pocket. But you can fight back against runaway inflation by sheltering your IRA or 401k with gold through Birch Gold Group. This is Steve, proud to be a customer of Birch Gold. Join me. Birch Gold has created a free info kit on protecting your retirement with gold in a tax-sheltered account. Just text the words SHELTER to 989898. Text SHELTER to 989898 and learn how to shelter your IRA or 401k with gold.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Vino Wine Warehouse New Year Festival. You are going to get a $30 gift certificate for only $15, half off. The Vino Wine Warehouse has over 1,000 retail wine items, 16 craft draft beers, a full liquor section, and a unique modern menu with some amazing appetizers. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Maybe you've heard recently, Michigan Department released the official list of snowplow names in the state of Michigan.
Oh, yes.
So, we had a story last year. It was at this time that MDOT was starting to take nominations. In the southwest corner of the state, they'd already started doing these names, and they were involving some service groups and some school kids and things like that. And MDOT said that they would take names and would look for specific names for regions. And on the Morning Team Show 1 year ago today, I said this.
And of course, one of the major names in this region that's all over the place. In fact, maybe perhaps MDOT could get them to put a nice diamond on their plow. Could name it the Herbert H. Plow.
Gentlemen, I submit to you from the Michigan Department of Transportation, in the Bay region, one of the Herbert H. Plow.
How about that?
Thank you very much.
All right.
We take credit.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to State Senator Jim Stamas. Jim, the governor, when she ran for election, the most famous line, of course, was "fix the damn roads." And then she ordered, after she couldn't get her gas tax, she ordered MDOT to issue billions of dollars in bonds. But all of that does is help federal and state roads. What are we doing for local roads in this state?
So what we've been working on, quite honestly, starting in 2015, when before Governor Whitmer was in office, we actually did a gas tax increase, and those new dollars are going to the roads through the Public Act 51. So that has been an increase. But over the years, we also have been somewhat foregoing all. We've been putting additional dollars directly to roads, and those are the local roads. We somewhat only did the two buckets of going to local roads with additional dollars because NDOT has been receiving other dollars. And so we've seen a substantial investment in the roads, especially even in the local roads as well. And so, I think that our challenge, quite honestly, with roads is multiple. Number one, we're so far behind. Number two, as the cost of petroleum, as cost of roads, which eats away with the additional dollars that have been going to it. And then the other part that we need to, we're trying to figure out where to go. I don't know that I'll see the answer before I leave office, but is with electric vehicles, because a large part of the money going to the roads comes from the gas tax. And so with electric vehicles, we will be seeing a decline in that. We've offset it slightly, not a lot, but a little bit, with electric vehicles actually paying a higher rate on their title. But that's not going to replace the gas tax. In addition to that, we have spent just over this current budget, or it was a supplemental at the end of last year. I mixed them up a little bit, but we did almost $300 million towards bridges across the state, and we have within a separate package for bridges that's in the House currently that the Senate had sent over there, which is a little bit over $1 billion to upgrade our bridges across the state. So there's been a substantial investment, both local and state. I'm referring to both the 300 and the billion are actually local bridges, not state highways.
So how long before we see some of the infrastructure money that was passed by Congress, which also goes to bridges and things like that?
Yeah. So I think that we're likely to start seeing it towards the summer, end of summer, at least what we know will be available. Our challenge at the moment with this, as Congress likes to already do, is the dollars that they're telling us that they have for us, the amount that they're referring to as reauthorization money we've already counted on and have had it committed to. And so it's not nearly as much as Congress implies with the number that they're using. And so it is, the best estimate at the moment is we're looking at an additional revenue coming in for roads specifically at about $300 million more, which is a lot of money. But when you're looking at roads and things, it's not going nearly as far as what you would think when you hear the trillions of dollars that they've set forward.
So it's not quite as simple as it's been reported in the news, where they passed a 1.9 billion, whatever it was, infrastructure package, and all that money was supposed to flow. so it's not quite what it is, huh?
It's not quite what it is. I know that your listeners in New York are completely shocked at that, but
oh yeah, sure, right. Absolutely. I want to go back to where we started the conversation, and the flooding, of course, that occurred in the dams in Michigan. Do we have a plan to mitigate flooding, even when the dams are built? Because even when the dams were solid, we had a lot of flooding. Do we have any kind of plan to mitigate that?
We are working on a plan. In the last supplemental, what we have done is put $3 million towards the region to help develop a long-term mitigation plan. When you're looking at a watershed area that is over 16 counties, just Midland County, the water's coming from, it's coming from Isabella, it's coming from Gladwin. As we see the rains that are affecting us, it's not just Midland County. And so working on a plan, how do we slow the water down so that we don't have the flooding, is another thing that we are working on. I know that there are people within Midland. Bill Schuette certainly has been taking up the charge on this exact issue as well. So I think it's a positive that we're looking at it towards how do we actually develop this, and working on the engineering and or frankly funding of it, along with what will the U.S. Department of Corps of Engineers allow us to actually do with changing the water, because of the water being so regulated. It's definitely a long process, but we are looking at and working on that as well.
Last question: how has or will redistricting affect you, and is it going to survive court tests?
Yeah, I am turned out, so it is not affecting me directly. But what it does for me it's discouraging to see what the redistricting commission has done with just using my district, the 36th Senate district, is now 3 different areas. The one that I would now be in to represent would be Midland, Bay City, Saginaw, and the townships within that. And that's a great community, but it also leaves out the rural communities of all of these counties. It makes it more municipalities. And then the bigger challenge, quite frankly, is if you look at what it does to my lower northeast part, the new senator that would represent that is now going to have 14 full counties and 2 partial counties, so 16 counties. As part of a district that I currently have 10 counties, 110 townships, 15 cities, and 7 villages, which, it's 3.5 hours one way. And I'm not complaining. I love my district, but trying to actually represent in a fair manner all of those communities on that part. And I know that both Republicans and Democrats have filed suit. I think the larger suit is going to come and likely affect it somehow with those coming out of Southeast Michigan. There is a possibility with the way that the redistricting has been drawn that we may not have an African-American representative, which is crazy. And I think truly does violate the intent of some of the protections that we have in the redistricting. And so I think it's likely to change. The bigger question at the moment will be, when does it change? When does the court step in to know what district we're talking about? Because, for example, there's thoughts that, we may have to run with the current districts as they have been drawn. There's other thought that we would keep the, or you could end up with a completely different district. But when do you know which ones you are and where do you live? People are moving, to run in those districts that they once thought they represented, and now they're literally, there's one representative. She's literally is on the wrong side of the street. If she walked across the street, she would be back in her district. And so there are people moving to continue to represent those that they've been representing. And so it's a mess at the moment. And, we keep seeing different actions. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. And when we saw it's people, voters, not politicians, and it made those changes, it was all about how do you make sure that the lines seem a whole lot better. But if you look at these lines compared to what the current, I think that was a complete lie, frankly, to the residents of Michigan. And so it's all based on population, and I understand that. But that was our point from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Trying to tell them that.
Jim, can you hang on for another segment?
Absolutely.
Okay, I had to take a quick break and we'll be back. We're talking to State Senator Jim Stamas. More ahead.
Attention hunters, gun collectors, and firearm enthusiasts. The Bay City Gun and Knife Show will be held this Sunday, January 30th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the DoubleTree Hotel. Admission is just $6. Children 14 and under are free. Dealers and collectors from across Michigan will be on trading firearms, knives, ammunition, military items, sports collectibles, and much more. Need cash? Bring in your old U.S., German, or Japanese military relics, as representatives from the Michigan Traveling Military Museum will be there paying top dollar for collectible firearms, swords, and daggers. Sunday at the DoubleTree will be your chance to pick up that special firearm, knife, or similar item you've always wanted. What a great day to get out of the house following the recent winter weather and enjoying looking over all that'll be on display. And it all happens this Sunday, January 30th at the Bay City Gun and Knife Show at the DoubleTree Hotel in Bay City. Hours are 9 to 3. For more information or directions, go to www.gunshowtrader.com. Don't.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you failed to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 1 Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
I'm one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. I'm living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com.
Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do. I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire. The information at inspiresleep.com.
It's been a challenging year. Asking for help can be hard, but finding it doesn't have to be. If you need help with your energy and other bills, call 211 or visit mi211.org for access to the help you need.
This special message about help available brought to you courtesy of Consumers Energy and WSGW. Broadcasting from the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW talking to State Senator Jim Stamas. So, Jim, I held you over to put you on the spot. You were elected in you were elected in 2014, reelected in 2018, which means at the end of this year, you're done. Which P is in your future, pizza or politics?
Within the family business at the pizza store, we've had Pizza Sam since 1960, and so we got 62 years going. My sister and her husband Gus have did an amazing job over the last 14, 15 years since I've been, restaurants only can handle so much with family and that, and so it will not be pizza, at least directly. My youngest brother Nick and I own it with our wives currently, and so it's not that I won't be a part of it, but it's not necessarily a shop. And so, within politics, I have, I was adding it up. I have, I think, almost 30 years into public service in one fashion or another, whether it's the U.S. military, township government, county government, state rep, state senator. I almost have 30 years. I don't know that it's directly politics, but there's politics in everything, whether it's finding an association that I believe in and want to strongly support and are able to do something like that, or some other form of serving is likely where I'll go. Quite honestly, I'm in one of those pickles as a state senator who has literally, at the forefront of decisions on where billions of dollars are going to go. And it's sort of, frankly, almost everybody's asking me for dollars, so it makes it sort of, frankly, hard to have any kind of conversation until such time. That would be, ethically, it's not something I can, I'm willing to go down that line. And so it's put me into a little bit of a challenge of playing for my future without, and so I look forward to continuing to find ways to serve and help.
And that's because you serve as the chair of the Appropriations Committee, right?
Yes.
And then everybody's after your money, our money.
Everybody's after our money, correct. And and that's fine. I mean, we have probably $10 billion that still, in one form or another, probably still just from the federal government, that still needs to get out on top of the next budget year coming up, where the current budget is $69 billion. And so, it makes it hard that not most people are somehow affected by the budget.
Yeah. Let me ask
of the state. And so
the current budget, we know got signed late in the year. When Snyder was in office, the budgets were done like in May, in the spring, when they should have been done. You ever see that coming back again?
Yeah, I think that there's a good chance this year. It's an election year. Everybody wants to get earlier than later, without a lot of, I think, drama. So I certainly think so. I think that we had a rough start with Governor Whitmer in the first year, where the governor walked away from the table, and so we sent her a budget, and she vetoed a lot of it, and then did something that really shook up the legislature with, admitting, ad boarding, moving monies around without any authorization. And it took a couple of years to get back to a positive conversation. But I think last year we were able to actually have a very positive conversation and come to an agreement with minimal vetoes. The year prior was
difficult
in a bubble, because nobody could go out, talk, hold committee hearings or anything else like that. And so I'm hopeful that this year is moving in a positive direction with the current conversation. So.
Well, listen, Senator, I want to thank you for spending some time with us this morning. I always look forward to our conversations. And
I always enjoy listening to you on my way to Lansing, with one part of the morning show or not. So I always enjoy it.
Jim, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you down the road. Have a great day.
Thanks, Art. You as well.
Take care. Bye-bye now. State Senator Jim Stamas, we thank you for spending the time with us this morning, and we will take a break, come back, and not much time for open phones, but if you can get in quick, we'll chat with you.
It's a new day, a day of winning big at Soaring Eagle. Winter is here, and with it, cash giveaway and your chance to win up to $5,000 every Friday in January. Then on Saturdays, starting January 8th, it's a snowfall of cash with drawings every hour starting at 7 p.m. and the $25,000 grand prize at 11. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hampton Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-6020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
On our first date, we had masks on and kept 6 feet apart. Now, we're a lot closer. Just like Cliff and Deb, thousands of singles over 50 found their perfect match on Silver Singles last year.
I feel like I'm 20 years old again, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way.
Rediscover the magic of dating with Silver Singles, the exclusive community for singles over 50. Sign up today and receive daily matches you won't want to miss at silversingles.com/radio. silversingles.com/radio.
You can hear about the cultural contributions and concerns of the Great Lakes Bay region on one of WSGW's new public affairs program. I'm Larry Rodarte, publisher of Mi Gente magazine, and I'm inviting you to join us for Mi Gente On Air Sunday evenings at 8 p.m.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. I heard the chirp, guys, but I don't see anything on my screen other than the fact the one that was there dropped off. Is he back? All right.
Art, for some reason, the screen locked back here. So
okay. So what do we?
I can tell you that we do have Joe from Benton on the.
All right, good. Joe, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. You and I talked maybe 20 years.
Wow.
I used to live up in the Flushing area. Could get you over the air. Now I listen to you online.
Great. What's up?
So the only thing I've been asking these questions of a lot of people. How come the average daily death rate in the U.S. has not changed with the coronavirus deaths?
Don't know. Can only speculate.
See, I looked at 4 months. I'd looked, and I think it was August is the last time I looked. The average daily death rate was about 8,900 people. And I went back to like 08, 09. There's a drop of about 1%, a little less than 1% because of population adjustment. So it stays in a pretty gradual uptake of about 0.8%, it looks like. So I go up, and just last week I said, I'm going to go look at the CDC daily death rate. Well, they have it through November 21, and it's now at 9,000. Well, if 800 and some odd thousand extra people died of COVID, would that not be 12 or 1,300 additional daily death rate?
Don't know. That's an interesting question. And why? And I don't know the answer other than the fact that, from what they're telling us, what we hear, that it's mostly unvaccinated and mostly, and not so much from the Omicron variant, but from the original variant.
One I know that has passed away of COVID-19 has either been elderly, and I'm getting there fast, and
I'm there.
My wife asked me the other day, "Can you believe he's 78 years old?" She's listening to the background. I said, "Yes, I've been listening to this for years." I said, "I love it." So anyway, but it seems odd that if we've had this pandemic where 800,000 extra people died, but it looks like they didn't. Like I said, everybody I knew had these comorbidities.
Well,
it's not a good way to say it, but
yeah, no, it is actually comorbidity is part of the problem, and unvaccinated is part of the problem too. And it's listen. I've come to the point, Joe, where you say to yourself, "Who do I trust?" Remember that old TV show? Who do you trust?
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
That's where it's become. It's become that now. Who do you trust? I don't know. You get conflicting information from the CDC constantly. You get one guy telling you to do this, another guy telling you to do that, another guy telling you it's all wrong, and you just don't know. So here's my answer. My answer is, who do I trust? I trust the guy or gal I pay to take care of me. I don't turn to radio talk show hosts. I don't turn to politicians. I turn to my doctor when I want medical advice, period. But as far as the statistics go, I don't know who to believe anymore.
Well, if the CDC, they track the average daily death rate, and my wife has been in the medical, she's a surgical RN, has done everything and anything you could think of, and we have talked about this since day one, and she's asked friends of hers who are executives at hospitals, why hasn't the daily such a tragedy?
Well, I don't know the answer, and we're not going to answer it here. I have no idea.
So we're trying.
All right.
Keep on plugging.
Hey.
Keep on plugging. I appreciate your show.
I will. Thanks. Call again. And one more call real quick. Hi, who's this? Hello, who's this? Hello?
This is Greg.
Greg, how are you?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead, real quick.
Yeah, I just wanted to let the retirees know that if they haven't been watching their portfolios lately, the market has been going down. If they don't keep a close eye on it, their nose into it, and pay attention to it here, because things have been a lot of money.
Yeah,
the economy, from what I hear, 6 months after the stock market goes down, the economy goes down. Is that a true statement?
Well, hang on a minute now. First of all, it's a guessing game. Secondly, over the past couple of years, the market has taken pretty good dives and recovered pretty quickly. So you don't know. But yes, you should mind. You should mind your portfolio. You should take care of it.
Right. Yeah, I would just let some of these guys that don't watch it very closely on things.
All right. Good enough. Greg, have a good one. Take care. Let me ask you how you slept last night, folks, because, you know, in this world, we're asked to do more for less. And when you go to bed, you spend a third of your life there. You really need quality sleep, and you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, or you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in the local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality, good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And by the way, they feature 1 hour delivery of your mattress to your home in a 1 hour window, so you don't have to wait around all day for them. And by the way, if you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress to your exact size specifications, something the big box stores can't do. Visit Sanitary Mattress Factory and Showroom, serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport. Visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call them at 989-753-1757. Sanitary Mattress.
Grab your silk top hat and your best flapper dress and foxtrot the night away with the Disability Network of Mid-Michigan at Feathers and Fedoras, a Roaring 20s gala benefiting independent living programs for people with disabilities. Saturday, February 12th. Enjoy delicious food, dance to the music by Stone Street Revival, find Lady Luck at the casino, hit the speakeasy for Giggle Waters. Tickets are $50 per person. RSVP at www.dnmm.org/FAF. Feathers and Fedoras. Saturday, February 12th at Horizons Conference Center in Saginaw.
This whole wall needs to be shelving too. This is a focal point in our restaurant.
Leilani's new restaurant will have the largest wine cellar in the city. She needs a robust sommelier with notes of procurement manager.
3 sections for France. I mean, this is the biggest.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates. Match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When you order your Walgreens prescriptions with same-day delivery, it's possible you'll experience some side effects. Side effects may include joy that you won't run out of your pills and disbelief at just how crazy fast the delivery came right to your door. Get your same-day prescription refill today on the Walgreens app.
To use same-day RX delivery or 1 to 2 business day delivery, you must be opted into prescription status alerts. It will appear as an option if orders before that store's cutoff time for the day. Certain health plans do not cover or participate in same-day RX delivery. Check with your health plan for further details. Excludes California.
All right, that's going to do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on Focus, we're going to talk about the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. They have a special concert, the premier concert coming up this weekend. We will talk to Fuad Fukari, the conductor of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra, on Focus. That'll all happen right after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios.
This is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kafin. The Supreme Court's agreed to hear a challenge to the consideration of race planning to take up lawsuits claiming that Harvard and the University of North Carolina discriminate against Asian American applicants. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
This is probably not a very good sign for people who support affirmative action, because the Supreme Court now has a much more conservative group of justices. And they have signaled that they are likely to say that affirmative action is either not needed anymore or has to be cut back dramatically.
CBS's Holly Williams is in Ukraine as the U.S. and its allies take new steps ahead of a possible Russian invasion.
Another shipment of American military equipment and munitions is expected to arrive here in Kiev tomorrow morning. Just announced that it is sending troops, fighter jets, and a warship to bolster defenses in Eastern Europe.
The U.S. is ordering families of diplomats and some embassy staffers to leave the country and is encouraging private citizens to make plans to leave too. In the Middle East, the United Arab Emirates intercepted 2 ballistic missiles. Reporter Dale Gavlak is in Amman, Jordan.
The American Embassy in the United Arab Emirates is warning its citizens to be vigilant on security after the Persian Gulf nation intercepted and destroyed 2 missiles fired by Yemen's Houthi rebels at the capital Abu Dhabi this morning. It's the second attack in a week by the Iran-backed militia, but no casualties were reported.
A court in London is Julian Assange the okay to challenge a ruling that opened the door for his possible extradition to the U.S. to face spy charges. And here at home, CBS's Jim Krasula has more from parts of the country where COVID is causing big problems.
Even as new COVID-19 cases start to drop in the Northeast and Upper Midwest, many hospitals are seeing a huge surge of patients. Nearly all of Mississippi's acute care hospitals are at capacity. Things are nearly as bad in neighboring Arkansas.
I worry that the general public doesn't think that COVID's a threat to them, that the Omicron variant is not a threat, but people get...
Gary Crane is with Baptist Health, Arkansas.
Well, the Wall Street sell-off continues into the new week. The S&P 500 is in correction territory. CBS's Jason Brooks has more on some of the factors at issue.
Full-scale war between Russia and Ukraine could impact Russian oil and natural gas exports to Europe and fuel higher prices, while the Fed is expected to signal its in March, with the market expecting as many as 3 more moves over the...
Right now, the Dow is down 614 points, the S&P 500 down 100. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter. Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown confectioners, it's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of hosting events and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with a Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. So good, you gotta try it. With Straight Talk, you can get our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month. Now with unlimited high-speed data, plus 5 gigabytes hotspot data, and no contract, with nationwide 5G on America's best networks. Why pay a whole lot for your data for a whole lot less? Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Live From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 18 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Bishop. Council will be making 25 different city board or committee appointments tonight. WSGW's Rick Antonio has this report.
Will go towards the Saginaw Human Rights Commission. Drafted originally by Saginaw City Councilwoman Annie Bench, the new commission will advocate for rights of all races, religions, genders, gender identities, sexual orientations, nationalities, and other classes of protected people by federal and state anti-discrimination laws. Bench says the group will be sticking around this time, with it being introduced via ordinance, giving residents more resources to protect their rights. The city unanimously passed a resolution in early 2021 encouraging and lawmakers to show support for the LGBTQ community by implementing non-discriminatory policies. Other groups seeing appointments tonight include the ARPA Advisory Committee, seeing 15 new members in its formation, the City Planning Commission, seeing 2 appointments, and the Star Services Board, Citizens Police Advisory Commission, Historic District Commission, and Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, each seeing new additions. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
The Saginaw Intermediate School District suing the Biden administration over mask and vaccine mandates. The mandate requires all Head Start staff to wear masks and get fully vaccinated or risk losing program funding. Head Start provides educational, nutritional, social health, and other services. The lawsuit alleges enforcing the mandates will lead to the closure of certain classrooms, resulting in a loss of staff. That, in turn, will mean many low-income families who rely on Head Start programs to educate their children will have few to no other options for those services. The Livingston Education Service Agency, Walled Lake Consolidated School District, and Wayne Westland Community Schools are the other. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
We're growing fast, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite. For the new year, NetSuite has a new financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. Michigan State University police say a private investigator working with the missing young man's family first alerted them to what's believed to be the youth's body in a river. MSU police said a tip on Friday. Ryan Robeson led divers to recover what's believed to be 18-year-old Brendan Santo's body in the Red Cedar River. Santo was last seen October 29th during a campus visit ahead of a football game between MSU and Michigan. MSU police say Robeson saw an object in underwater videos submerged in a logjam he strongly suspected was Santo's body, and then informed the family before calling 911. There are several Republican candidates seeking to become the next governor of Michigan. Most know former Detroit Police Chief James Craig, but among the top contenders are businessmen Kevin Rinke and Southwest Michigan chiropractor Garrett Soldano. He began fighting for Governor Whitmer's lockdowns a couple years ago.
I was waiting for one of our elected officials or somebody in a position of power to stand up and fight against what was going on almost 2 years ago. And all I heard was crickets. And so what I did is I got upset. So I started this Facebook group called Michiganders Against It. And I went on there, and overnight a movement was created. We grew to almost 300,000 people in 3 days.
43-year-old from Kalamazoo area has never held elective office, but says people want truth and transparency. Soldano says he would welcome the endorsement of former President Donald Trump and would support him if he's the Republican nominee in 2024. It's rusty and no longer needed, but a 165-foot water tower still has fans in a Detroit suburb. St. Clair Shores City Council member David Rubella wants to save the tower, which stands at the city's or was built in the 1920s to improve water pressure in St. Clair Shores, but it's now obsolete. It could cost roughly $400,000 to save the tower, 10 times the cost to demolish it. WSGW News Time 1110. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We have snow in the forecast for today, overcast skies, temperatures warming to the mid-20s. We have 5 to 10 miles per hour, gusting around 20. We'll see 2 to 4 inches of accumulation. We have snow wrapping up tonight. Cloud cover, 5 degrees for your low. Winds breezy out of the west-northwest. Tuesday, we have a slight chance for snow showers in the afternoon. Partly sunny skies, highs warm to the upper teens. Tuesday night, chance for snow showers, cloud cover, and a low near -2. I'm meteorologist Mandy Falluber with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now,
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Focus on WSGW from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio. Brought to you by Roof Max, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about Roof Max online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's Roof Max with 2 X's. This Saturday at the Temple Theater at 8 o'clock, will be the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra premiere, featuring all kinds of wonderful things that we're going to find out about this morning, because with us is the maestro himself, the musical director and conductor of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. We say good morning to Fuad Fukari. Fuad, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
Hey, we're doing well. Hope you are too.
I am. Thank you.
Yep. So here we are, 2022, and you're about to take to the podium again.
That's right. Yeah, really, really exciting time, especially with, at one point in time, we were sort of thinking, would we be able to put this concert on given COVID? But I think we're good to go, and we're really looking forward to the performance on Saturday.
Well, part of this caught my attention right away, and it's a piece you're very familiar with because I think you wrote it. The premiere of Krupa. Now, when I looked at that name, the first person that came to my mind was Gene Krupa. Is that who that is?
That is exactly who it is, yes. Gene Krupa, I mean, for those who might not know, was a pioneer drummer who was working in the early part of the 1900s, 20th century, so the 30s, 40s, 50s, well known for working with Benny Goodman. Just a brilliant drummer, and for many, he is the person that really ushered the modern style drumming that you would expect with any rock band since then. So he's really the grandfather of, and I remember when I was young listening to a version of Sing 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 and hearing Krupa performing the drums on that, and it just moved me beyond anything, and so this piece is almost an homage to his drumming and his style of playing.
Well, I loved his drumming, and it's funny you mentioned Sing Sing Sing, because that would have come to my mind too. But not only for Krupa, but for Buddy Rich, who followed.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, him and Buddy Rich were terrific drummers, and
they were the virtuosos.
Absolutely, and just the leaders that really brought everything. I mean, you cannot imagine any of the big, Black Sabbath, any of the big rock bands that came afterwards without having those two, at least in drumming. Even Rush, the drummer for Rush, they were such influences on so many drummers after that. In fact, there's if people are interested, there's a YouTube video of both of them having a sort of a duel on drums on YouTube.
I'll have to look it up. So I have to ask, because when you think of a symphony orchestra, you don't think of drum virtuosos. How are you going to have a lot of drumming in this?
Absolutely. So yeah, I wanted it to be, when you look at Krupa and when he would perform with these, sort of jazz swing bands of the 30s, 40s, he sat on a pedestal with his drum set, and the band was sitting on the other side. And I'm doing that in the actual concert hall. So, you have a drum set, and he will be on, the drummer will be on sort of a pedestal performing his drums while the orchestra is playing the part of the band, basically.
That would be phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And you wrote this piece, didn't you?
I did. I tell you, I've written, many pieces, obviously, and many solo pieces, but the solo part for the drums, it was quite challenging for me, because drumming, especially that style of drumming, is an improvised
I was going to
style,
say, it's hard to chart.
That's right, exactly. So it's hard to write it down for the player to perform it and keep the sense of spontaneity. So I found myself sort of writing it down, but then writing directions to take liberty. This is just a starting point, and you are able to then to take liberties and perform it in a manner that suits the style of Krupa.
It's also going to be a chance for the concertmaster to shine. We'll talk about that. We are talking to Fuad Fakari. We've got to take a quick break. We will be back with more. The concert is this Saturday at the Temple Theater at 8 o'clock, the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra.
Menards carries the largest in-stock selection of appliances. Criterion Advantage with a pair of laundry appliances with great features, great quality, and a great price. The top load washer has 8 preset cycles and can handle family-size laundry loads. The dryer is equipped with wrinkle prevent and sensor dry, which automatically stops cycles when clothes are dry, saving time and money. They're $449 each after $100 mail-in rebate. See store for details. Price is good through February 6th.
Save big money at Menards.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, the weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an 8 money on replacement, get a RoofMax shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with RoofMax, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
We're growing fast, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
we're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
What? Kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite. For the new year, NetSuite has a new financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/books. Head to netsuite.com/books for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. NetSuite/books.
Watch your refunds feels like climbing to the apex of a roller coaster.
Here we go!
And flying down the tracks. At maximum refund speed. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
You are in the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you talking to the maestro of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra, the conductor Fuad Fakari, who's also the musical director. Fuad, you're featuring your concertmaster Elliot Heaton in this concert this Saturday. What's Elliot going to be doing?
Going to be performing the Khachaturian Violin Concerto, which is a piece that is, it's like if you have a piece that has fireworks for violin, that's the one. It's just unbelievably energetic. And part of the reason that I wanted to program Krupa with this particular piece is they share a lot of this type of rhythmic drive and the rhythm of the piece. It's quite a rhythmic piece. It was written in 1940 by Khachaturian, and it's really just a wonderful piece that's not heard as often as it should, and very melodious and quite shows the real virtuosity of the violin player, in this case, Elliot Heaton, concert master.
It would seem to me that the operative word for this concert is explosive. Krupa,
That's right, yes.
Khachaturian, and now we move on to César Franck's Symphony D minor, which is pretty explosive itself, isn't it?
It is. And that piece is one of those, Franck did not write a lot of his symphony, and it really was a big success, and it has been a big success ever since he wrote it. It's sort of, in the past 3-4 decades, it's not heard as often as it used to be heard in the early part of the 20th century and mid part of the 20th century, but it's just a great work. It has some unique features. It's in typical 4-movement symphony, and it has these motives that tie the entire work together from the beginning of the first movement all the way to the end of the piece. It's one of those virtuosic and beautiful fireworks types of pieces. Yeah,
I think it's important to note here that the first half of this concert, both pieces are by American composers, because we have to include you. And it's half an American concert.
Right. Yeah. Khachaturian is Armenian, but it's you have Elliot Heaton performing. I wrote the piece, and then you have the Khachaturian, and then you have the Franck, who's from Belgium.
Khachaturian is Armenian, but yet he's listed as an American composer.
He is. Well,
because
he's
mainly because he lived here, moved here, same as you.
I don't. I don't know. I'll have to research that one. I think, he's known for being an Armenian composer. But I'm sure, if you found it somewhere, then that's true.
I found it in the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra notes.
Well, but then it might not be true. I think that is probably an error.
Oh my goodness. Concert is this Saturday. What time?
The concert is at 8 p.m. at the Temple Theater, and people can purchase tickets at 989-755-6471, extension 2. Again, 989-755-6471, extension 2. These are our offices, or they can go to the SaginawBayOrchestra.com under tickets and purchase their tickets there.
Will you be doing a talk before the concert?
I don't think we are. Partially because of COVID. We can't have. Yeah. But I will talk to the audience during. I've been doing more and more of, because everyone is seated at that point.
So let's go back just for a minute to Krupa, and how you're going to stage this. I find that interesting. You're actually going to set the drums up on a pedestal.
I would like to, yes. I would like it to be almost, just reminiscent of the early days of swing bands, where, the drummer would be on one side. If you open any 1950s, 40s video, they're always on pedestals, and the conductor is one pedestal, and then the band is another, which is sort of a tiered pedestal, and then the drummer is somewhere else. So that's what I would like to get to achieve. In fact, I wrote in the score for the drummer to really not only perform the part, but to do all the mannerisms that Krupa would have done in his drum.
So where do you find a Krupa-like drummer?
So we have a great drummer who performs with us. He teaches in the Flint area, and he's a terrific drummer who will be, who's performed with us a number of times as part of the percussion section. And he took it on, took the challenge on, and he's going to be performing that part.
It's going to be unusual. A drummer featured in a symphony concert.
Yeah.
Unique. Very, very unique.
Well, that's the hope. And I'm hoping that people will just come and just out of, if nothing else, just to sort of experience something new. There's a conception that an orchestra is stuffy and, serious. And this piece is completely the opposite. It's just a fun piece that should just made to sort of resemble a style of music from the past with a twist.
So I assume a lot of what I'd call big band type music, swing
Yes.
music.
Yes, a lot of these gestures that you would expect in
Yeah.
big bands. And people should just come if they want to dress up and, wear their 1960s, 50s stuff, come
So
with a
I would
laugh.
I would expect to see you bouncing all over the stage like those, band leaders used to do.
Well, I don't know about that, but maybe I will bounce. I'm hoping the drummer will bounce. That's the idea. But you know what I mean. I mean, that's
Yeah, absolutely.
If you see them, that's what they do.
Absolutely. Well, Fawad, as always, a great pleasure. Again, we'll remind everybody the concert is this Saturday, 8 o'clock at the Temple Theater. And sounds like a good one. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thanks, Art. Always a pleasure.
Have a great one. Bye-bye now.
You as well. Thank you.
Fawad Fakari from the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. We'll close out right after these notes and move on to the market report.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need.